Hey everyone, when last we talked, the surgeon was next to my bed as I was a kid, next to my mom, saying, "Well, that went better than we thought it would." And from there, I left actually learning how to walk, getting a chance to run, getting a chance to jump. I was an active kid, all because of these surgeries that they performed, even though they weren't sure what the results were going to be because they really had never figured out what was wrong with me. They actually had experimental surgeries that had never been done before. Me, you couldn't really keep me down. I was always out with other kids. I was running around. I was chasing people. I was getting hurt. I didn't let at my disability really stop me at that point. If you haven't watched the first video, my left leg, smaller than my right leg, atrophied, doesn't have all the muscle, literally shorter, so I had a limp, not as strong. It was a real problem, except it wasn't so much a problem for me because I was a kid and I didn't notice because I didn't know any better. It's kind of like being in the eye of the storm. You don't, it feels peaceful. And unless you're really paying attention, you don't notice what's going on around you. That's something people don't always understand about dealing with disabled people is that disabled people don't often consider themselves disabled. I mean, they know that they are, but if it's all they've known or all they've known for a significant period of time, they're simply living the life that they have to live. And it's something important that we need to consider, even as we're considering, what they may be going through and trying to be empathetic, trying to be supportive. Anyway, I started becoming a teenager and wanted to do all the things teenagers did. Oddly enough, dating didn't go real well for me because, well, I was teased a lot. I was always made fun of, and I don't think I had a very good image in junior high and high school. I tried to improve upon that, tried out for the basketball team. A couple people that I'm friends with here on Facebook might remember that. Nick Ford, Matthew Harris. Matt had encouraged me to try out. They were both my high school friends. Doctors would not sign off on letting me try out for basketball, would not let me join the team. So the high tops that my mom bought went back to the store, and I was left to play, in the backyard, on the streets. Not really on any sort of formal team. I just played basketball when I wanted to play basketball, and really there was nobody around to play basketball with. So I spent a lot of time shooting 3-pointers and then chasing the ball after it bounced off the hoop. Getting into college, still very active. A lot more people to play basketball with, though, after school hours. Dating went better. People seemed to not notice my leg. But part of the reason they didn't notice my leg, I guess, is, at that point in time, you're a little bit too old for people to be making fun of you. And I still didn't make that big a deal about my leg. Although I will say, I ended up getting hurt a lot more often than I did as a younger teenager. Playing basketball left me with sprained ankles and on crutches more often than I really would have liked. But I kept going. Doctors at this time, like I said, they wouldn't let me try out for basketball. They warned me that if I kept using my leg the way I was using my leg, playing basketball, being so active, that I was going to end up in a wheelchair at some point. That I needed to slow down and preserve as much of the leg function as I could. Being young, I kind of felt invincible and indestructible, like most of us do. But I also thought, if I'm going to end up in a wheelchair, I'd kind of like to remember what it was like when I wasn't in a wheelchair. I'd like to remember hitting a winning shot, running up and down the court, doing things that I couldn't do anymore. When I look back, there are so many stories that I have from times where people told me I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, and I went ahead and I did it anyway, whether I should have or not, usually just to prove them wrong. They thought I couldn't do it, they thought I'd get hurt doing it, and I was able to do it anyway. And that's a big part of my life theme. It's a big part of what made me who I am today, is proving people wrong. But there's a lot more, and I will go into more in parts 3, parts 4, and who knows, maybe even part 5. But I did not slow down. I went through college. I got out of college and became an outside salesperson, always on my feet, until I couldn't be always on my feet. But we'll get into that next time on You Walk Funny Part 3. Until then, go out there and have a win anyway day. We'll see you next time.